Well, listen, it looked like the ladies was yelling out more than YOLO when they was fucking with BOLO. Okay, let's get into Real Housewives of Atlanta. So y'all, at the first half of this episode, it was so much different stuff going on. So I'm gonna try to cover as much stuff as I can recall that actually happened. It was a lot going on that actually had my nose turned up like, Like, I just felt like, I don't know, for me, I just felt like they was doing too much, y'all. I could have dealt without the whole stripper gate, stripper show, stripper everything. That's just me, you know what I'm saying? I like a big, and I cannot lie, but when it comes to having a stripper around, I'm kind of cool on that type of shit. That's just me. Like, I'm kind of cool on the whole stripper shit. But, that's what they chose to get into, so we're gonna get into it as well. So, okay. So we can see Kenya open up with her audition tape for Unsolved Mysteries, pretty much. She's talking to the producers, you know, talking about the definition of an HOE or something like that, and girl, it was just a mess, okay? So obviously this entire episode was surrounded around a mystery, trying to figure out who did what, when, where, and why. Now, the show opens up with some of the ladies in the kitchen. They over there chatting, talking it up. But let me tell y'all one thing that's for sure. Miss Portia was ready to get her some peen. Portia was ready to see some peen. She was ready to fill up, rub up, kiss up, all that other good stuff all night long on her some bolo, honey. Candy decides to let all of the ladies know, listen, I am the mistress of the night. So if y'all need anything, whatever you're trying to get, whatever you're trying to do, you're going to have to hit me up. And I am that girl for you, okay? Now, Cynthia is upstairs talking to her man, Mike. Meanwhile, Candy getting all this stuff together. When Cynthia came down, she gave her package like, girl, this is your attire for the night. While you're at it, let us go ahead and introduce our alter egos to you so you know exactly who we are. So they went around and they told everybody names. I don't really remember everybody's name. I believe Kenya was Chocolate. I know Miss Drew was Lickety Split. I forgot what Portia's name was. I feel like it was like something dealing with peaches. And then you got Tanya telling me something. Her name was Dynasty, a spin on Dynasty. I said, okay, girl. We see y'all, honey. Everybody had their nicknames, okay? Cynthia goes upstairs so that she can go and put on this new negligee or whatever Miss Candy done got for her. In addition to that, Candy said, listen, I got this vibrator that we're going to put into her underwear, honey, so y'all going to have to go up there and deliver it to her. And obviously, that vibrator was a bit too strong for Miss Cynthia because she could barely take it. She was like, girl, now wait a minute, honey. I was not expecting all of this, girl. You're going to have to slow your roll just a little bit, girl. This is too much up in here, girl. Slow down. So once they get Miss Cynthia all dressed up, looking all cute as she wanted, cute with that big old badonkadonk, they decided to go on outside and they see Mr. Bolo in a little glass case dancing and moving about and all this other stuff. But you know, Marlo, honey, she ain't seen nothing about that DIC, but she definitely saw them fashions. And she said, honey, I know that Chanel is fake, but you swinging with a little something, honey, and that thing is stinging. So we're gonna let you do what you need to do, honey. I'm gonna give you a pass this time, but don't you come up in here with no more fake ass Chanel. You hear me? Okay, so Portia could not wait. She had to be the first person like, y'all need to back up off my man, Bolo, honey, because I'm going to be the one to let him out of his cage. Hear what I say, okay? It's going to be me. Do you need some help, Bolo? Do you need me? Let me just go ahead and cut to the chase real quick because I don't want to forget. I could not stand Portia's voice when she was talking to him. It was like the whole voice gave me, I'm finna get fucked tonight, period. That's what the voice gave me. You need some help coming out? You need some help, Bolo? And then later on, we see when Kenya asked her to go and get Bolo. Bolo, the ladies want you to come back. He like, is there cameras out there? Like, what they want? I mean, I don't know. You know, maybe like just a party or something. Are you gonna come? I was like, girl, if you don't get your ass, then she run out there. Hey y'all, Bolo said he'll be out. He's coming back out in a minute. I was like, Portia, shut up. And I know Dennis was sitting up there looking like, damn, that what we doing? She usually do that voice for me. We doing it like that? She ain't doing it. Oh, okay, I see. So I know you did. I know you did. I know you got down. I know you had YOLO. Okay? Yes, YOLO and Bolo. I know that's what you was doing, girl. Okay? Because you usually do that voice for me, but you did it for him, so I already know how it went. Okay, I know Dennis was up there watching this episode, sick as hell. Bolo does this whole dance. You know, once he get in the house, he does this whole dance. He get down on the floor, do all these little flips and rolls and stuff, and then grab on this stuff, and then pull it out, and then show y'all what he working with and all this other stuff, and gyrating and all this. I just listen, y'all. I cool on stuff like that. Like, I'm cool. Like, I'm okay. I'll watch it. Like, it's exciting. Girl, but I'm Cynthia and Marlo. I'm gonna go ahead and head out. I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed. Okay? I'm good. I'm gonna go over here. That's just me. You know, everybody else, you know, they like stuff like that. They really get into it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just reserved or something like that. Like, girl, I don't need to be... Now, maybe if I had a little liquor in me or something like that, I was like drunkety drunk, then maybe it'd be a different story. But if I'm sober, girl, what is we doing? Let me go ahead and go up here and talk to my man. What are we doing down here? What am I going to do with a bolo right now? I can't do shit with it. When bolo finishes, you know, all the ladies had a really great time. You know, they was throwing their coins. Honey, Miss Cynthia was like, honey, I don't really know too much about this. I'm a little new to this. So I'm going to give you about $4, $5, okay? And then when you take off a little bit more clothes, then I'll give you another $4, $5, honey. That's how Miss Cynthia was moving. Ladies had a good time. When Bolo finished, Portia had to let him know that thing is stinging and so is this. And so I got to go ahead and put this ass on you so you know what to do with it, okay? So she go over there and make sure she rubs all on him and stuff. And I'm like, okay then, Miss Portia, girl. Okay. Candy decides while Bolo is getting himself together, Candy brings out some door swing or something that she has. You know, she's in her element. She has her whole candy coated night thing. So, you know, she out here really making sure she's able to sell her products to the ladies as well as the viewers on the show. So she got Miss Cynthia all wrapped up, honey, and she over there doing her little thing, whoop-de-whoop, showing her how to do it. Meanwhile, you got Miss Kenya, who had been crawling all over the floor. She was really in touch with her sexual side. She was just all over the floor crawling. I did like what Kenya had on. I like that her outfit was like a standout one. She had like the red on. Everybody else pretty much had on black for the most part, I believe. And then Cynthia had on white. But I did like Kenya's outfit. I will say this. Let me just not. We all know Kenya's ass is fake. I'm sorry. It's just not. It's not authentic. I'm not for to play with y'all. I'm not. Like that right there, girl. No, ma'am. But I mean, your outfit was cute. But that whole falling on the floor, it made me cringe a little bit. Because I was seeing her ass and it definitely looked fake for me. And I was just like, this outfit is so cute, but you doing all this, it's just like, my attention is going somewhere else. And my attention is like, it ain't even real. You know what I'm saying? So I really felt the way about that. But anywho, Kenya was like, girl, I want y'all to bring back Mr. Bolo. Bring him back, bring him back, bring him back. And then Portia said, you want me to go get him? You want Bolo? Girl, you never hear or care anything about what Miss Kenya talked about till she brought up Bolo. And you had to be the person to go get her. I go get a girl. No, you stay right here. I got him. That's when she went to the room and did that all cute little talk or whatever. Then he came back out. Candy and them was like, we ready for the cameras to go. Okay, we really can have a real party when y'all go ahead and skirt, go and get up out of here. So the cameras began to pack up. They took the mics off. The ladies, especially Toya, we're not going to be able to have any real fun because she's just ready to put her face in between somebody's legs, honey. Okay, so Portia was like, girl, Toya's like, girl, we ain't gonna be able to have no fun because we got cameras everybody from where. Candy said, girl, you think I give a fuck about them cameras? I'm Candy. Everybody know my shit, honey. Everybody know my tea. So, I mean, girl, I ain't really pressed about that. But if you are, I mean, I guess we can come to cover the cameras up. So, everybody goes and they cover up the cameras, except for one camera in particular, the one on the outside of the house, honey. They had like a little view of what was going on the inside. And I do believe, as I fast forward into the episode, when there were certain things that were heard that next morning, I do believe they probably had that footage. And some type of sounds. They probably left some mics there or something the ladies didn't know anything about. I really do feel like they picked up sound of what happened, but they just would not release it, probably because they can't release it or was told not to release it. But I definitely believe if they caught some of the stuff that they did catch and we were able to hear that, I feel like, yeah, I think they caught the moans too. They just didn't want to incriminate nobody. I got in, girl, but good luck. So Bolo come back out. He do his thing. He hanging out with all the ladies. You know, Kenya's going up and downstairs checking out her baby. I believe Marlo went and got into bed early. But the 4 freaks that was still remaining for show was Drew, Toya, Portia, and Tanya. Now, it was at one point we saw Toya all on top of Portia, and she was kissing her, and they was doing all their little thing and all this other stuff. Then they said they had Tanya on top of it. It was just a lot of shit going on. And if the first half of my review sounds like it's all over the place, that's because this episode, first half, was all over the place. There was so much going on. It was this, that, and the other, like, what, huh? Ooh, girl, no, huh? Like it was a lot. Now we can't forget that Portia also said that somebody out there, she was like, somebody come do something, or somebody eat me out, or something like that. Somebody eat this PUSSY. And then Shamia said, oh, you a whole bisexual hoe, you know? And she was like, well, somebody gonna eat me out tonight. So Portia was ready to get something going on. Okay, she was ready to get it in and get it down, honey. So the next day, we can see Kenya talking about what all happened when she woke up. She recapped the night, how she kept going up and downstairs, checking on her daughter. She mentioned that she saw Toya and Portia kiss or whatever. Then she came downstairs around 6 in the morning to see, because she trying to see what's going on, who all still up, anything going on. She started hearing moaning and groaning from this particular room. And she said she definitely heard Portia's voice for sure. The only male in the house was Bolo, so she could tell that. And then the other person, the verdict is still out, but based on how one's actions have been, y'all pretty much told on y'all damn self. Tanya. So we can see Cynthia and Drew, they sit down, they have a conversation, they reminisce on everything that happened that night and how they saw the wild events and all this other stuff. Long story short, the conversation came up about whether or not they're gonna tell their men. And Cynthia said, I'm definitely telling Mike. Are you gonna tell your husband Ralph? And she was like, yeah, I'm gonna tell him. We both gonna tell our men, because we're gonna keep it honest. We ain't gonna let nobody else tell them for us. We gonna tell them for ourselves. So they are agreeing to tell what all happened, honey. And obviously Miss Drew ain't pressed about doing that, considering the fact that Ralph took a trip to Florida, was gone for a whole weekend, and she don't know what the hell he did. So she like, I know he ain't gonna be mad at me being gone for a weekend on a whole girls trip and having some fun, honey. I know you're not gonna be no. So we just gonna see. I wonder if we're gonna get to witness her to sit down and actually have this conversation with her husband and tell him everything that happened on this trip. And I wonder how he's gonna respond. Now Kenya and Marlo and a few of the other ladies are in the kitchen. They come downstairs, honey. I believe that's when Kenya said that it smelled like some Badusius. Kenya said it smelled like something going on up in there, okay? She is not trying to let it go, but y'all know Candy is on some, girl, I want her to let this go. Drop it to the flow. Drop it low, honey. Just leave it alone. So some of the ladies are going to go out on a fishing trip, while the other ladies are like, hell no, we going to stay in the house because we motherfucking tired. We had too much fun. We turned up too much. So Cynthia is outside by the pool talking to Kenya. They over there catching up about all the festivities that happened that night. Kenya talks about how she was so shocked at Drew and how Drew was acting, and she was all wild and stuff and bending it over and getting pounded, you know, like just dancing for the most part. But she was just shocked to kind of see that. And I'm over here like, Kenya, girl, and we were shocked to see you rolling all over that damn floor. Everybody kind of stepped outside of their character, girl. Now, Kenya goes on to talk about what she heard about the 45, like for about 45 minutes, right? Kenya heard all this noise for about 45 minutes, and she actually stood outside while all this shit was going on, because she was trying to capture who the hell is in this room hunching and fucking. And I ain't gonna lie, I would have been a Kenya too. I would have stood out there for a minute like, I know motherfucking well, I need to see who finna come out and do this walk of shame, honey. I know y'all not in there getting it down in this whole house, okay? I know y'all not. And if y'all are, I need to see who's about to do the walk of shame. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Okay. I would have waited for a little bit until Brooklyn started crying. I had to go back upstairs. But for real, girl, I would have been like, who is it? Who is it? So it was you, so B.I.T. You could never say anything else about me, honey, because I'm going to clock your tea every chance I get. Now, when Kenya was saying this about waiting for 45 minutes, Candy was like, in her confessional, she made Brooklyn wait for 45 minutes. She made Brooklyn wait for 45 minutes. And you make Ace ass wait when you be flying all over the goddamn country doing what the fuck you doing. What you talking about? She made Brooklyn wait for 45 minutes? And she made Brooklyn... Okay, what about when Ace ass was crying because he wanted you to be home more? Okay, so you made Ace wait, which is why he started crying. Now, I know she was trying to make a point as to why Kenya wouldn't come downstairs the last time, but she came down this time to be around the stripper and stuff. Well, y'all got in her asshole. She wanted to make sure she was there for the festivities. Y'all told her to make sure she had a nanny. That's what she did. She pulled an all-nighter with her nanny. She made that shit work. So, yeah. And if Brooklyn was asleep, and you damn right I'll be downstairs for them 45 minutes while my child sleeps so I can figure out what the hell going on. The fuck, girl? anyway, Candy, I feel like, Candy, you didn't even have to say that, girl, but you did. So I just kind of feel like we're starting to see the breakdown of the friendship. They're not going to be as close as we once thought unless they're going to make up at the reunion. So I don't know. I can see them making up because Kenya gives me the vibes that she don't want to lose the friendship that she has with Candy. Now, then we had Shamia come down, Toya come down. And that's when, what's her name? Kenya started to drill them, trying to find out, question them, what was going on, where were they at a certain time throughout the house and all this stuff. But Toya was saved by the bell because Toya was actually in her room and she has a timestamp of when she was actually on live or on her IG story or where she was. So we know Toya was not involved. We never really for sure figured out where Shamia was, you know. But I don't see Shamia doing it. I feel like Shamia is like overly, like she is such a classy woman. I mean, but you just never know. But I just don't see her letting her guard down in that sense to do that on set. So after hearing what the ladies had to say, Kenya is still on her hunt to figure out this information. She is still playing Blue's Clues because she needs to figure out who it was, how it was, and all this information. But she already know for sure Portia was one of the people. She really just trying to figure out who the other lady was. Later on, we see Cynthia go to Marlo, have a conversation with Marlo because she wants the two ladies to be able to have a sit down and talk. Two ladies meaning Marlo and Kenya. So she's like, girl, we can go and have this conversation now, because at first Marlo was like, I don't know, because girl, it's gonna take a whole lot of the Lord to come down in order for me to have a conversation with this lady. I don't think she likes me or anything, but if she wants to have the conversation, then fine. But other than that, like, I'm okay. Marlo, soon as Cynthia heard what Marlo said, she was like, okay, well then come on. She was like, girl, where you taking me? She was like, I'm gonna take you to her room now. She said, oh girl, you talking about right now? She was like, yeah, right now. Come on, come on. So they go to the room, and Kenya actually allowed both of the ladies to come into her room. They had an exchange of words about why they kind of fell out. And one thing that hurt, or a few things that hurt Kenya, one was her saying what she said about her mom, you know, saying that her mom doesn't like her and all this stuff. And then when she was pregnant, instead of embracing the fact that she was actually pregnant, being that her and Marlo were friends at one point, and she knew that that was a desire of hers, she decided to like make a certain like, you know, throwing up disgusting gesture towards Kenya because she was pregnant. And I do think that was kind of like, you know, girl, you ain't have to be like that. This lady pregnant, okay? All women don't feel great when they're pregnant. You know, they start to gain weight. They have health issues, different type of complications. So you ain't have to make her feel no worse than what she was already feeling, especially considering the fact that she's older in age and she was, I'm sure, high risk, you know. So she could have just kept her mouth closed if she didn't like her like that. So Kenya expressed that. So Marlo apologizes for her actions. Kenya apologizes for her actions, and they both became cool. Cynthia leaves the room, leaves the two to talk, and you know, they're going to work on building a better relationship. And what we also learned is that those two ladies both heard the sounds of the moaning and groaning that morning because they both were up around the same time. So y'all can't, I mean, like, yeah, Kenya, y'all may feel like Kenya wrong for talking about it, but Kenya ain't the only one that heard it either. And basically, Candy ain't the only person that, Kenya's not the only person that heard it either, because Marlo heard it. And Candy also heard it. Candy just doesn't want to be a part of the conversation. But I don't really know why. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm kind of like, why you don't want to talk about that, Candy? If that's what you heard, we just asked you to tell what you heard. We on a reality show. Tell us what you heard. You had no issue being a part of the clique when it came down to calling out Miss Kenya, when it came to her bringing her child and you not knowing whether or not you were going to bring, or you could bring yours, but we knew you weren't going to bring yours anyway because when have you brought yours? Okay, so why you ain't out there persevering? Because you sure had a lot to say to Miss Kenya, girl. Oh, okay. Now later on, we can see Shamia, Tanya, Portia. They're all together in a room, and Shamia and Tanya decide to let what's her name, Portia, in on information that they gained from Kenya, and how Kenya is trying to insinuate that those two ladies were the ladies that were messing around with Bolo, you know, earlier in the morning times. And once she said that, Tanya tried to play it off and say, oh, really? Like, you know, trying to play it off, but then Portia was like, that is so foul. Like, Kenya, you know, Kenya wants me to go out there and be upset and yell at her and do this and that and whoop de whoop whoop, and I'm not going to do it because of this and that. And it's like, Portia, that's not what Kenya wants. Kenya don't give a fuck what you do, okay? But she is going to call your ass out for your shit. Okay, you just got an attitude with this lady not too long ago about her and her situation with her kids, and you had no sympathy at the table, and she know you was involved in some whole shit. You think she ain't gonna clock your stuff? Yeah, she is. Okay, Kenya don't care nothing about you, girl. She already know that it's great for TV, so of course. But you're giving yourself away by telling everybody, by your actions, by pretty much showing up like you mad and this and that and all this. And it's like, okay then, Portia, we know you did it. We know you did it. And then you're going to get in the confessional time. So I kissed a few people that night. I know I kissed Toya. And who else? I don't know. Maybe I forgot. Yeah, because you didn't want to have any, you didn't want to have to answer any further questions that was going to come from the producer. So you try to add like, I don't know. I forgot. Like, girl, I know you did. You know exactly what you was doing. You know who you did it with. You know? So, I mean, girl, and I feel Kenya, when Kenya was like, well, girl, if you don't want nobody to talk about it, don't do it on TV. Period. But then, Kenya, you're going to have to take your own advice in some situations. If you don't want nobody to come at your head about it, then don't do it on TV. Tanya's upset, of course, because she doesn't like what Kenya is out here insinuating. But I feel like Tanya would have played it off. But when she saw Portia get upset, she tried to get upset. And then Tanya got even more upset. So I think, if not this episode, next episode may be the last time we see Miss Tanya, because she decided to, I believe, quit the show, go on by her business because she did not appreciate the allegations. When it's kind of like, girl, just don't admit to the allegations. Just let her continue to talk if that's what it is. Okay, so she knows so much. Why you got to prove her point? But you are proving her point by stepping back and walking away. You didn't quit the show when she brought a whole nother woman to the show and that your man happened to have exchanged numbers with and could have possibly been cheating on you with. You didn't quit the show for that. Okay, but when it came to this right here, now you want to quit the show over this. So that right there makes me feel like then you definitely did it, girl. You definitely took part in that. You know, at least that's how it looks on the season, on the show, girl. So, and you walking away from the episode and all this, walking away from the season and stuff, like, to me, it furthermore proves the point. Just like with Portia getting upset, getting mad, throwing a hissy fit, all this other stuff, trying to call Kenya out. And when Kenya came downstairs, you know, when y'all go outside to have dinner, Portia was like, I can't even eat, girl. They probably put something in it. Like, she lost her appetite. She's sick. Yeah, you should be sick. She's sick at the fact that somebody else knows what happened in that room. And then when she sees that Marlo and Kenya have made up, she's even more pressed because she feels like, oh, Kenya got an ally. Nobody at the table was really fucking with her. Nobody at the table was really rocking with her like that. And now she got an ally. But did y'all notice how Toya fake ass was like, oh, I'm so proud of y'all. Are you, girl? Are you? Because you was quick to run to Kenya and tell her some information that Marlo told you. And then when Portia was going off about Kenya, she asked you, how do you feel about your friendship with Kenya? And she's like, well, I'm starting to notice some things about Kenya and our friendship and how everybody treats her based on how she's handling this particular situation right here. Okay, so girl, I can't wait to Kenya find that information out and see that you weren't really her friend and you didn't have her back in that moment. And you stood on your own 2 feet and had your own opinions. So I wonder how that dynamic is going to be between you and her moving forward. But that's all I got. You know, I hope that I covered as much stuff as I could have covered. I feel like the episode was all over the place. It wasn't that amazing of an episode as they tried to hype it up and they couldn't wait for us to get to this moment. It wasn't that fantabulous of an episode, but I hope that you guys enjoyed the review. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.